It's a versus rebuild battle today against my dad on Football Manager. We've got 5 seasons as managers of Wolves and Aston Villa to try and become more successful than each other by being smart with transfers and creating out-of-the-box tactics, but this one is very close. We have the exact same win, draw and loss record. Our goal difference is the same. Dad, neither of us had any budgets with Villa Wolves.
Well, that's the thing when we take over a team. It's nearly always in July, is it? They take over mid-July type of thing. So usually the budget's already been spent by someone by then. So, but I was still quite happy because I looked at the team and I felt that I still had a very good team.
Absolutely. I think you've definitely got the better starting team. I've got a team which can progress quite nicely. There's a few players in there who have good potential on the game. So without bringing anybody in or selling anyone, this is Dad's tactic in the 3rd season. It's a 4-3-3, but we've got 3 across the middle of the midfield instead of like 1 in DM. Balanced mentality, pressing forward. You've basically set up all their favorite roles, I think, haven't you?
I probably did, yeah, because I just sort of like looked at every single player, put them my best starting 11 in their favourite positions and see what I came up with, and that's the tactic I came up with, really. So yeah,
let's have a look then. I'd never signed anybody either, so my players, I mean, I didn't have much of a budget and nobody in, nobody out compared to it, and I went for this tactic. It's a 4-2-3-1 really. It's just a little bit offset, bit of asymmetrical. I've got a player who's sitting in there as a ball winner, João Gomez, who is one of those players who I alluded to earlier that can progress quite nicely. The young Brazilian that Wolves has signed quite recently. A very good box-to-box midfielder and sometimes has the potential to go on to be one of the world's best midfielders. So £16 million they spent on him last season. They didn't really play him much. I've played him at the start of this season, trying to get him some game time. He's got some nice 16s in there. I'm also trying to train him to get forward whenever possible. Without that, if I did quick pick best 11, he gets taken out. Bellegarde's there. He's quite good, to be fair. Lamina's in there as well. But I'm unsure about this 1st season. I've got some good wingers, although Podence isn't actually at the club. Kaladzic can be quite dangerous on this game as well. So, okay, it's quite an interesting one to start things off. Let's have a look at my schedule. The games that I started off the season with: Newcastle United, I lost 3-1 unfortunately. They started off really strong, scoring 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. Luton Town though, I defeated them 4-0 as I would hope to have done. Lost to Brentford away from home. That's always a tricky one as well. And then I beat Derby in the EFL Cup. However, Dad is currently top of the league because he has won every single game he's played so far and scored 4 goals in every game other than the last one against Saruka, who you only got 3, with Ollie Watkins getting all 3 as well. So 4 goals being scored against West Ham.
Ollie Watkins that's his 3rd hat-trick as well.
That is, yeah, 3rd hat-trick,
He's hit the ground really running, isn't he?
Yeah, Brighton was a 4-0 away win.
Yeah.
Amazing. Aruka, which was Europa Conference League qualification games, he beat them 4-1 and 3-2. And Sheffield Giant 4-0. You haven't had a massive test yet. That's the only thing.
That was what we were saying. I haven't been really tested, so fingers crossed. I mean, anybody would take that start, though, wouldn't they? Really?
Gosh, so, yeah. Top of the league right now. You're in a European competition, which I would say you're probably favourites for it.
I would like to think I am, to be honest. Yeah.
I mean, we have a look at all of the group stages. You can kind of have a look to see where your competition is going to lay in this. The only downside is in that 1st season, people from Europa League will drop into it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a downside. Obviously, you've got Eintracht Frankfurt in there. Bingo card. Outside of that, there's a few different clubs that you think might cause you trouble. Fiorentina, Lille. I mean, you should be winning this.
Even all those teams that you just mentioned, I would still think that I'm favourite to win that without knowing what teams are going to come down.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be one of those teams that come down probably might still pip it.
Yeah, I mean, the only, the Europa League groups that we can see here, if there's, 3 decent ones in one group, there's a tricky one there, Rangers, Real Betis, and Brighton. Yeah. But I'd still fancy, you've already beaten Brighton. Villarreal, Marseille, and Freiburg is another one that you're like, okay, one of them could be quite good. Yeah. And cause you a little bit of trouble. Outside of that, Genk coming down possibly, we should still be seeing you winning that. Yeah. All right, but it's 1st season in this Midlands derby with Wolves versus Aston Villa. Get your predictions down in the comments section. Let's see what happens after the 1st season. Season number 1. And I have beat you in the league table.
How did I lose that?
We have the exact same win, draw and loss record. I think it's gone down our goal difference is the same. We got 15 goal difference each as well. That's gone down to goals scored. Because I think if you have a look at the rules, it's goals scored before, goals scored before results against teams.
Yeah.
So it's gone down to goals scored between us.
And yet, the way I started the season, you'd have thought I'd have scored more goals than you.
Hell yeah. I somehow managed to score loads of goals.
I really lost it there, didn't I?
80 goals I scored. I conceded 65. You'd only conceded 41, which is very low considering.
I was averaging 4 goals a game.
Yeah. Both landed on 62 points in total, both with 15 goal difference. Somehow I managed to score more, which means I gained that first important point of just being above you. Now, none of us have got European football next season, which I would probably say none of us have won a cup.
Yeah.
Which means that Europa Conference League isn't looking too good either.
No.
12 losses, there's 1. I've beat you once there, but I've also lost against you 3-0 away from home. So there's another point each in between there.
If it had gone to head-to-head, we'd have had the same head-to-head as well.
Yeah, we would have. Yeah, I think you would have won based on goal difference in head-to-head.
Yeah.
I guess, because you beat me 3-0, I only beat you 3-1. So, yeah, really close one, that is. But, yeah, Wolves, competitions, probably haven't won anything. Quarter-final by Chelsea. The only way that we're going to gain points now is if one of us has knocked out each other. And you haven't knocked me out here. Quarter-final by Chelsea in the FA Cup. 4th round by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. Let's have a look at Dad's competitions. Quarter-final by Slavia Prague. Runners up. Manchester City. The one team you really don't want to see reach the final.
No.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, I avoided you somehow. So, when was I? 4th round?
Liverpool.
By Arsenal. You knocked out Barnsley in that, right? You getting all the easy ones when you Liverpool. Yeah, all the easy ones. Arsenal, all the easy ones. Don't know why you celebrate. You don't get any points for beating them in the semi-final.
Still celebrate beating Arsenal, mate, I tell you.
Is that because normally you're buying their players?
It's a long 4 seasons to come yet.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Let's count how many come through the door. Final then was 2-0 against Manchester City. It's difficult. I mean, let's have a look. I mean, quarter-final as well by Man City in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Which was the same
Done me twice, didn't I?
area. Oh, got to the quarter-final. Well done. Well represented. And got to extra time against Bournemouth as well. So that's lovely. The 3rd round, you knocked out Charlton. I knocked out AFC Wimbledon. 4th round, you knocked out Norwich. I knocked out Coventry. 5th round, Birmingham and Millwall. So, yeah, we played some nice fixtures there. The semi-final was, it's an all-Manchester derby, and Manchester United have won it. Amazing. So, Aston Villa, what is your transfer budget next season to try and capitalise on everything that's just happened there? £46 million.
I'm pleased with that because there's a few players I want to get rid of as well.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look quickly at your Europa Conference League. So your group stage, you finished top of the league. You lost 1 against Club Brugge. You drew to Racal. You went through to the round of 16 where you faced Freiburg, who came down. So that was a good win for you there. Quarter-final, knocked out by Slavia Prague. Bodo Glimt went on to win this, Dad. Bodo Glimt. So
missed a big one there, didn't I?
Huge opportunity wasted there in
missed
season number 1. Let's have a look at your goals. Who was scoring it? It was Ollie Watkins.
It was definitely Ollie, wasn't it? So
25 goals there. Just
so
2
he
assists.
scored 3 hat-tricks in 5 games, and then he virtually stopped scoring.
Okay. 9 in 5. And then only 25 in 47.
Oh, dear.
12 goals and 13 assists from Leon Bailey. 12 from Bertrand Traore. But again, 46
You can read me
£46
like a book, can you? You know exactly what I'm going to be doing now after seeing that, don't you?
Bit early for Frank Kessie, but I guess you can try.
I haven't scored enough goals.
Yeah. I mean, who normally comes in when he does that? We'll have to take a guess down below. Who do you think he's going to get in for that? My Wolves side then, who done me proud this season and gave me more points. I didn't expect that at all. No. 30 goals from Sasha Kaladzic.
That's good.
I actually thought, who did I loan him to? I didn't realise he played for me and scored that many. He's injured at the minute. What's he managed to do? Pulled his hamstring. Couldn't believe how many goals he scored. He jumped up off the sofa when he knew he won the Golden Boot. 26 years of age. He's got a lot of goals there. That was in the Premier League. Was he the top scorer of the Premier League? He was. He won the Golden Boot. He would have thunk it. I'm very overwhelmed by that. I would not expect to see that.
He won the yellow cards as well.
Yeah. Absolutely destroyed that. We did very well with that one. I can't believe he's beat Erling Haaland to the Golden Boot.
There you go.
By 6 goals as well. And that's probably who's coming in for Dad, I reckon. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, put your money on it. But that's a great season there for Sasha. I'm happy with that. 12 goals for Matheus Cunha is a lot less than what I was hoping for. That's who I was pinning my hopes on, possibly scoring me the most goals. And he's wanted as well, which is a lot of money for Brighton and West Ham to cough up should they want to take him off my hands. Speaking of money, £50 million. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's both of us roughly on the same amount, considering we both finished roughly in the same position. No advantages going into season number 2. Neither of us have European football. Let's have a look to see what we bring in season number 2 after we hear from this week's sponsor, NordVPN. This is how easy it is to connect to a VPN using Nord. Done. And just like that, I'm protected. I mean, even my dad could do it. I reckon I could even tell Dad, no, you need to connect to the United States if you want to watch that on Netflix, because it's not on the English Netflix, Dad. Or you want to watch the 3 p.m. kickoffs, you have to connect to the virtual private network in the USA. I mean, he's all right at geography. He knows straight away. Let's zoom to this area. Oh, okay, Salt Lake City. That's in America. And here we go, auto-connecting, and it's connected. Now, I'm coming out of the United States, and if I went on, I could probably watch some 3 p.m. kickoffs, which is exactly what my dad would want to do, because Spurs, nobody ever wants to watch Spurs, so they just get stuck on the 3 p.m.s. Now, I've alluded to a couple of the advantages of having a VPN that you can use for yourself, but there are many more, including a lot of protection purposes and security while using the internet so you feel safe. Not to mention that if you use my link, nordvpn.com/OmegaLuke, you can get an extra 4 months on top of a 2-year plan. Have you seen how cheap a 2-year plan is as well? This is an easy decision for you. And even if you're still not convinced, it's a risk-free buy because NordVPN guarantee a 30-day back guarantee if you're not entirely happy with the product. Now, this is exactly a live example of how NordVPN keeps me online secure. Got a notification here, and when I click on it, there's been a leak of some of my data, compromised data, country, name, and phone from a website that I've used in the past that I can hopefully just clear and get rid of it. That's just saved me. That a criminal could have got hold of anything there. A lot of problems that were solved thanks to NordVPN. About 3 years ago, I had my YouTube channel hacked and taken away from me because of one dodgy email which planted some dodgy malware onto my computer. But you can avoid making that mistake like I did simply by using nordvpn.com/OmegaLuke. And I will leave a link at the top of the description. It's something that I really am passionate about because I don't want anybody losing something that's precious to them. The third one down is threat protection, and you can view activity. The last check I just done right now, you can go back, view activity and customize to make sure that everything is safe. It will literally tell you if there's anything that's vulnerable so you can get it off of your computer. So again, it's risk-free, 30-day money back guarantee. Should you need it, I don't think you will. Again, the prices are very well priced as well. Not to mention, using nordvpn.com/OmegaLuke, you get an extra 4 months on top of the 2-year plan. Keep yourself protected, enjoy all the other benefits as well that you can think of through NordVPN, and have a fun one, guys. The link is at the top of the description. So, of course, the points in that season number 1 is just 2-1-2 Omega League. We don't have to add anything up right now. It's nothing too complicated. Let's have a look at Dad's transfers. You sold £59 million worth.
Yeah.
40 million of it was Douglas Luiz to Chelsea.
Yeah.
He was actually just sat on your bench, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. So I didn't use him. So and I also wanted to bring a few midfield players in. So he was the one that was going to create the money for me to bring a couple of midfielders and a couple of strikers.
It was loads. 3, in fact. Dad started off the window by buying Højbjerg from Tottenham. He buys so many Arsenal players, he felt justified in having to bring in
this guy. This guy I bring in quite a lot if I can because he is such a squad player as well. He plays in so many different positions if you really need him. I was quite pleased with this guy. Getting him in, yeah.
Good signing for just 14.5 million. Then you also signed Christian Medina on the same day for 12 million.
Yeah.
And he's a worse version of the player you just bought.
He probably is, but I could reserve one for and he's only younger, so he can only get improved as well.
All right, okay. Then we have another £57 million worth. Now, we think this is just one of those loan signings that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Triquinho. This is one of your favourite ones.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a centre midfielder again.
Yeah. You know what me? I like in my centre midfielder area. I like to have 3 or 4 good ones in case I get any injuries. Then I normally play like 2.
Yeah, but you already had 3.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making the squad
You had
stronger.
Kamara, Tillemans, John McGinn.
Yeah,
There's 3. Then you've brought in 3 already, and you've got rid of a midfielder. But we'll have a look at that in a sec when we take a look at Dad's tactics. Danny Gomez, £7 million. I mean, you're just throwing shit at a warrior, aren't you?
One of my reserve strikers. He was going to be definitely be my reserve striker.
I feel like you are actually disrespecting the Aston Villa fan base, bringing in absolute dross players.
Don't try
like
and get
Danny Gomez.
Don't try and get the Villa fans to turn against me.
They're looking at this and going, "Come on, Dad.
Just have your faith in me. I've got the best wishes for Villa in this tournament. So don't even worry about it.
We were expecting Frank Kessie. We were expecting
too early for Frank Kessie.
Ibanez.
Too early for Frank Kessie. We all know that.
Gonzalo Ramos, and instead we get Danny Gomez for $7 million. It gets worse, viewers, because he also went for Enrique Araujo.
Look at the finishing on this guy. 15. If he gets a chance, he's going to take it. And his composure's 13.
He's got 11 pace.
Well, that's all right.
He needs to get into the box.
He'll only get better. Start filling the squad with players that can just drop in out if there's any injuries. I've got Ollie there. Ollie's going to be my main striker, and I need one more to go with him.
£3.3 million down the drain. Sasha Bowie. Now this is an alright sign, and I'll give you this one. £90 million for a very good right back.
Yeah, need a good right back.
I think in real life he just signed for Bayern Munich, so £19 million on him. It's not too bad at all. He's got yourself 2 assists as well in the first 3 games. And finally, the third striker of the transfer window. Remember how many strikers he's bought this window alone when you look at the tactic.
There you go. There's my second main striker, though, isn't it?
What was the other 2 then?
He's in with Ollie.
All right, £25 million spent on Boulaye Dia for this tactic. You do actually have 2 strikers. You took one off the wing. You got Dia and Watkins up there already. The other 2 don't even make your bench by the look of it. Oh, Danny Gomez actually makes your bench. So talk to me. Why the change?
I wanted to be a bit more attacking, and it's like a 4-2-2-2, really, isn't it? But I had really good wingers, so I had to. As much as I was thinking of another tactic, because I had really good wingers, I felt that I had to play a winger. So I decided to go with Bailey out on the left. So that was a tactic. I was always going to be that solid in the middle with an advanced midfielder or attacking midfielder. So it was whether I was going to play a winger or like a shadow striker.
Yeah, because
I mean, I was looking at playing a shadow striker in my head.
Yeah,
the winger, I had to play another winger because I had 2 really good wingers. Really,
Buendia missed majority of the season last year with a really big injury that he starts off the game with. So you welcome. It's basically like a new player for you, I guess.
It is,
really,
it is really, yeah.
Diaby is. Well, you tried to offload him.
Yeah.
As you can see, transfer listed. Didn't work, did it? But he plays across the front 3 or on that left-hand side, so he's another good option there for you. As I mentioned, you've now only got 2 centre midfielders, and you bought 3 of them in, and then still got Boubacar Kamara on the bench as well. So
I'm building. I always build for 4th season.
Building a big bench.
I am.
All right.
I mean, my defence is really good. I haven't touched with defence. I mean, I got cash there, but I bought another right back in.
No, you spent all your cash, didn't you? I'm here all week. Don't turn off, please. Don't turn it off. Instead, just subscribe. If you haven't done so, press that subscribe button. The subscribers are going down this month. Let's get them back up again. Right, not actually like the phone number going down, like the amount that I get per month. It's gone down compared to last month. Let's get that back up. So Konsa and Torres.
So I'm happy with my defence. I'm happy with the goalkeeper. I mean, World Cup winning goalkeeper. Who wouldn't be happy with him?
Who looked like he pressed it against his penis when he won it.
Yeah.
Quite disrespectful in the country of Qatar. Yeah. It was quite hilarious at the same time.
So so I've just strengthened my defence by getting my right back in, because I sometimes I think he's good, and sometimes I don't think he is. So I've just got someone in behind him just in case.
Yeah. Okay. He's like my wife with cash.
Yeah, trigger.
Terrible with it. Right, let's have a look then, before you take a look at your fixtures, at my transfers. So £23 million on the outs there, and I spent quite a lot of money, but I did bring in a centre-back to begin with called Patrick Pfeiffer. I've never signed him, but he's a bit of an animal, really. He's 17 for pace, 17 for jumping reach. Great bravery. He's a quality player, really. 25-year-old Ghanaian from Augsburg. Played last season quite a lot. Not as much as what I thought he would, because I think he looks quite good. I think because of how good pace is in the game and jumping reach, I thought he'd be kind of like an overpowered type of player in this. So Thomas Belmonte, there was a bit of a steal. £7.5 million for what I would consider a very good ball-winning midfielder for me. Great marking striking, great tackling, the aggression, leadership abilities as well. Great natural fitness and stamina. The Argentinian, 26 years of age. Good time to bring him in. Mufi, £2 million. Good right back backup for me. I've got Nelson Semedo there. He is kind of old now. I think he's about 30. But this one's a very good backup in Mufi. And then finally, Ernest Nuama, which is a winger who can play on both sides. Ghanaian again, 20 years of age. Great physical attributes, good technicals, just needs the mentals to grow. My tactic looks like this. Now, I'm not nailing anybody in. I'm going for that 4-2-2, but offset again, kind of asymmetric. Bellegarde and Belmonte are the two best in there. Sarabia actually is the best right midfielder. Kaladzic, after his fantastic season last season, I decided I need to play a 2 atop.
Yeah.
He's the reason for that, because Cunha can drop in quite nicely, but he plays naturally in both centre attacking midfield or striker. I thought, let's give him a go as a striker this season. Let's see what he's all about, shall we? So that's what my team's looking like. My schedule is this. I lost the first game 1-0. Don't panic, everybody. I know you were, but there's no need.
Look at the start I had last season.
Yeah, exactly. I beat Leeds 2-0. I beat Brighton 5-1, and I beat West Ham 2-0, as well as qualifying for the Europa Conference League, which we did not think could happen.
No.
But for some reason, I was in the running to go for the Europa Conference League. Was Dad in it? Was he out? No. Dad's schedule.
Yeah.
Wow. Loves a 1-pointer.
I was scoring quite a few goals, but just conceded them as well, wasn't I?
4 games played in the Premier League, 4 draws. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Bad start.
I don't think I've ever seen that in my life.
I was glad to bring him play against Rotherham in the end, just to sort of try and get a win.
I mean, you and Chelsea are the only unbeaten teams left.
Yeah.
You're also in 13th. That is absolutely mental. So, great start of the season for me. Rotherham, you beating them in the cup though. You've also got Chelsea in the next round.
I haven't lost yet,
so would that be like the 2 unbeaten teams? Who's gonna ruin their unbeaten record first? Is it first place Chelsea or is it 16th place Villa?
Oh dear.
There's only one way to find out. Second season, it's 2-1. There's all to play for in this one. Let's simulate and find out. And second season, you've overtaken me again, Dad. You've overtaken me this time round. 6th place, 63 points to my 59, so it's still really close.
Yeah.
Manchester United won the league as well. I have qualified for the Europa League. So I've done something.
I didn't want to see that.
As have you qualified for the Europa League. We're both in the same competition next year. 63 points, 59. I lost 15 games. Don't see your name there just yet, or there. You lost 11. Yes. Both games. So that 1 point you gained.
Both times you
higher.
scored 4 against me.
I win 2 straight off the bat for beating you both times. So that's 2-1 straight away. Lovely stuff. But I'm excited because qualifying for the Europa League must have meant...
You won the FA Cup.
I had a double.
You won the FA Cup though.
Runner-up in the Europa Conference League, and there's not a lot of times where you get a chance to actually play in it because, as we know, the spaces are fairly limited. Atalanta in the final. So my league phase, I finished in 2nd place in that. Nice. I only lost 1 game against Getafe. I won the other 5 there, which put me in the round of 16 where I knocked out Getafe again. Well, I actually played against Getafe again. I knocked them out. Midland, I knocked them out in the quarterfinal. Semi-final, Rijeka. I had quite an easy run into the final, but then I'll place the probably the hardest team in there. But the FA Cup, I'm buzzing with that one. It must be some years since Wolves have won the FA Cup.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Must be absolutely donkeys. But let's have a look at my run for...
It's
absolutely
Come
trounced
on.
them. Well, they got further than you.
What?
Can only beat who you meet there.
Oh,
right.
Dear, oh dear.
You beat Northampton. I knocked out Warsaw.
Who we
4th
got
round, you knocked out Blackburn. I was knocking out Notts County 6-1. 5th round, you were eliminated by Chelsea. I knocked out the mighty Preston. May I remind you, they were unbeaten once. Over 130 years ago, something like that. It was like 1880s or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But still, I mean, what's Chelsea ever done? Quarter-final, knocked out Chelsea.
Ooh.
That's funny though, isn't it? Didn't know that was going to happen. Just convenient, that one.
Look at the rest of the teams that's in there, though.
West Ham, Fulham,
you were really the
Ipswich.
top 2 teams in that, really. Then.
Yeah, I mean, even in that, like Reading, Leicester, Burnley, the ones that were knocked out, I had the hardest one there.
So all the real top teams, as I would say, Man City,
like
Liverpool,
Villa,
Man United, Spurs, are all out, aren't they?
Spurs. Semi-final, I knocked out Fulham 5-2.
I hope that comes back and bites you, son. I hope it comes back and bites you.
Semi-final, knocking out Fulham into the final, beating Ipswich 5-0, nice and comfortably. So let's have a look then. Competitions. The last time, 1960. So, yeah. 65 years since they won the FA Cup last time round. Which, actually, is that the last time that they won anything domestically? The Carabao Cup was 1980. Okay. I know they won the Europa League 1972. What was it then? The Cup Winners' Cup.
Probably, yeah.
But where did they win the cup to get into that? I'm quite curious about that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but
nobody knows.
We don't even know how you got into it, though, do we?
No, that's true. Nobody knows. They're like, just go to... Because what was the first team to get played in Europe, or they were invited, or something like that? Because in the 50s, they were dominant, weren't they?
Yeah.
So when it was the Champions League, they were the first ones to be invited, I think. It was something like that, and they turned it down. I think we did that in a rebuild not so long ago.
That was one of the Scottish teams, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they accepted, but Wolves
it
rejected it, or something like that. Hearts and Hibs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe they were just like, oh... Wolves, do you want to be in it or what? And they just, yeah, all right. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the case.
I think it was the Hibs. Hibs were the first team to be in it, and Wolves. Didn't Chelsea turn it down and Wolves took it up? Or something?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. £55 million I've got to spend there. So let's have a look at the goals tally. I got 34 from Kalajdzic again. Great season. Cunha's up there with 32.
Two strikers in 30. That's well done.
Yeah, new winger coming in with 17 and 21. That's lovely. And off the bench, Fabio Silva with 15. Belagar with 11 and 13. So great season so far for those lot. Let's have a look at what you've managed to do. Competitions. We know you were knocked out by Chelsea in the FA Cup, but
Chelsea
also
twice.
in the Carabao Cup too. Unlucky Kentucky. You got 25 goals from Ollie Watkins, 19 from the new guy Dia, 15 from Buendia. You got Dia and Buendia. Really annoying view. Because you're really good with names. I bet you really struggle with that.
I had that.
£55 million as well. Have we got the same budget again? Pretty much have, yeah. Pretty much got the same budget. This is quite fair, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Well, European football next year in the Europa League, but let's have a look at the points tally. Omega Luke has another 5 points this season, taking his total up to 7, but Omega Dad with just 1, taking his total up to 2. Right, Dad, you cashed in on Matty Cash.
Yeah.
£22 million.
Told you I was a bit like that with him. So.
Yeah, so all the money jokes have gone out the window now.
Got rid of Tyrone Mings as well.
Yeah, Tyrone Mings and Diaby.
Yeah, he come back from a bad injury, Mings, didn't he? So
yeah.
I just feel that he wasn't the same player, and he was getting on as well. So you know what it's like, they get close to that 30, they're gone.
They are gone.
Yeah.
Diaby for £44 million gave you quite a lot of cash to play around with, and you started off bringing in another striker.
Yeah.
£3.5 million in Gasson, good French striker with a lot of pace. Then we've got Bisek from Atalanta, the German centre-back that we haven't seen too much of, but really strong, tall, great jumping reach, a lot of pace about him as well, good positioning. I quite like him, to be fair. Absolutely. Then we got the right-back, Van der Bremt from Salzburg, £16 million, the replacement of Matty Cash, which meant that you actually made more cash out of cash than you did buy the cash for Van der Bremt. The last cash joke, I promise. Josh Deutsch, £14.75 million from Hellas Verona. He's a homegrown talent.
Yeah.
So it's always good to bring them in because he
trained
in Scotland. He's a very good left back as well for 23. Then we got Bento, which is a Brazilian goalkeeper. You do like the Brazilian goalkeepers.
I had a bit of spare cash, so I just thought I'd get myself a better reserve keeper.
No more cash.
I just had to put it in. So I got myself a better reserve keeper in, because the reserve keeper I did have wasn't that good, and I'm not going to improve on the keeper I've got. So.
Yeah. And then finally, when you know it, it's another striker. Yeah. £40 million on Jorgen Strand Larsen.
But then you got to look at it. I mean, that's another good striker.
He's an animal.
As well. So yeah. So I've just bought in 2 really good strikers now. So I've got on my books now 4 really good
14,
strikers.
Yeah, about 14. Yeah. Likes beat the offside trap. Hell of a lot of strength and pace about him. Good finishing, good heading ability. Great jumping reach as well. £39 million seems quite worth it for a player who's got 17 La Liga goals last year for a Celta Vigo side.
Yeah, really pleased with this signing.
Yeah, I agree. But that also left you with about £40 million worth in your transfer budget, you tried to go for a deadline day signing, and it didn't get done over the line in time.
Such annoyed about it. It was just
took ages.
It was. I mean, I think it was the day before I tried to sign him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it just carried on, and we went right through the transfer window, and right at the death, it just went, nope, sorry, couldn't do it.
Cancelled.
Yeah.
However, you've put the bid through again now. It's been accepted, so you're on to the contract. It is Abiri Eze for £40 million. So if he does agree, it will be a January signing.
Yeah.
And
so fingers crossed for that one, because when this player was sort of in my price range, I sort of jumped at it, didn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So, tactics. Has he changed it? Of course he has.
I don't get strikers in for nothing, mate. I've got 4 really good strikers in. I need 3 in every game.
Oh, you could field 2 teams of strikers by the sounds of it.
Yeah, but I've got a shadow striker as well, so one of them will probably fit into there, even though I've got good shadow strikers in the team.
Oh, yeah,
as well,
you've got Buendia, you've also got Ramsey, and of course you're bringing in Abiri Eze, who plays there too. So I don't know where all of these centre mids are going to go. I don't know where the rest of the strikers are going to go.
That's a good team, mate. You got to look. You look at that team now and you think that is a good team.
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm building my squad up, I tell you, mate.
Okay, let's have a look though at what I've managed to do, because I've actually spent more money. £152 million on the outs, 78, which was a release clause for Mateus Cunha to Liverpool. Belmonte only just signed in for £7.5 million. He makes his 3rd move in 2 and a bit seasons for 41 million, so I cashed in big time. Daniel Podence went out for 26.5, and then a few other little ones that I let go as well. Let's have a look to see who I brought in as a replacement. So Junior Creepy actually went to Sunderland in one of the first seasons for £16.5 million. Had an unbelievable season in the Championship with 16 goals and 6 assists. So I signed him for £23 million. I think this is a really good signing because he could play 2 roles very good naturally, and he's only 19. I'm already training him to like to beat the offside trap. That's what I like to do with Junior Creepy. He's fantastic at it. Then we have a look at a centre-back who I tried to get earlier on in the window. Couldn't get him. Eventually, when I finally got the money, Mika Marmo joined, and he's a really good left-sided centre-back.
Yeah.
Who can also play naturally as a left-back too. And again, does that very well should we need him to. So covering all bases there. Salvatore Esposito, naturally in 2 positions. This is good because it gives me options should I want to change formation and tactics.
That's a good signing.
He's a cracking guy, isn't he? We're a big fan of his family because he's got 2 unbelievable brothers as well, both strikers. £15 million. He got 11 assists last year in the Serie A for Spezia. Then we have a look because I spent another £132 million. Terem Moffi for £31 million is a good signing. A lot of pace, a lot of strength. But when I sold Cunha, I had money to go big, and yes, I went and got Vitor Roque, who's £79 million from Barcelona after a few seasons of not playing since his move from Atletico Paranaense, and he's already got a goal in 3 games. £79 million is a lot of money, but he is a very talented player for 20 years old. Already training to beat the offside trap. Leandro Trossard.
I was an Arsenal player.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have a big rivalry with Arsenal. You never see me ever, though, buying a Liverpool player, do you? When do I ever buy Liverpool players?
I can't comment on that because I can't remember. You know, my memory's like you could have done it yesterday and I'd forgot.
It don't happen. I don't remember the last time the only other time I would buy, well, I'd loan Liverpool players or I get them on free transfers for like clubs which aren't very good. When I'm at this level, I never go, hang on, I want to go buy a Liverpool player.
Remember that Liverpool player that was out of this world and I tried to buy him and I couldn't buy him, and then on the next rebuild you bought him.
That was on Glory Hunter.
Was it? Well, yeah, he was a Liverpool player though, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's not a Liverpool player right now. He was a Liverpool player in like 2040, wherever it was. Anyway,
the Liverpool player.
Back to the present, because Dad's living in dreamland. £21 million, exactly the same money as what Arsenal paid for Trossard. Actually quite a good winger. He's just a little bit old, 30 years of age, but he plays naturally in 2 positions. So I don't mind too much. Those are all the signings I made. Play the exact same tactic as what I did last season. All I've done is change the roles up front because now I don't have Cunha and I've got 2 different types of strikers I can do without. Now Fabio Silva's actually out on loan again, so he wouldn't fit into that role. I'm kind of hoping that Kaladzic or Moffi will just naturally fit in that, especially Moffi because he has that really good pace and strength, so he can play the pressing forward quite well. We're using his strength. We've got Esposito coming in, that centre midfielder on attack. Wingers are in there too. I think my defence is slightly weak because all I've done to it is add that Pfeiffer guy in. The rest of them are all still actually Wolves' back line. Now, Kilman's okay, but I'm not going to be like winning League league titles with Max Kilman, unfortunately. Nori's decent, to be fair. He's a very good left back. Semedo, again, is one of those where it's like kind of average, and he's 31 now. His mental attributes let Semedo down because the rest of him's decent.
Yeah.
And Jose Sa, I'm like, if I wanted to do anything spectacular, I might have to upgrade. But I think the rest of the side is very, very good indeed. So, my schedule so far looks like this. I have played Manchester United, the greatest team in the Premier League. They've just won it, and I lost 4-2. You can't shake your head, because I did. They did just win the league. However, what you can do is celebrate, Dad, because you got the first point of the season, beat me 5-2 at Villa Park. I think I had a couple of injuries going into that one, didn't I? Because I was missing... I did. If I didn't, I'll just say I would anyway. 1-0 against Leeds.
You could say anything. I'd have to agree with you because I can't remember.
Yeah, you have terrible memory. Brentford 2-0 as well. So outside of those two games, I was managing to keep clean sheets. Now, my Europa League fixtures are as follows. Rapid Vienna, Stuttgart, Besiktas, Roma, Partizan, FCSB, which is the old style Bucharest team, Club Brugge, and Slavia Prague. I'd like to think I can qualify for that.
Should do, yeah.
Let's have a look at yours, though. Well, of course, we already know you beat me 5-2, so that's a point plus 3 points in the league. You also beat Brentford 2-0, and you lost to Newcastle.
Yeah, disappointed, but it was at Newcastle. So, I mean, in this league, the top teams will beat you at home, so.
Yeah. Europa League, your fixtures are dealing with Zagreb, Hearts, Lens, Real Sociedad, Bilbao, Victoria Pilsen, Monaco, and Juve. Yours is a lot harder than mine.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I think I've got to try and make sure I've qualified before the last two games. I don't want to go into those last two games thinking, I mean, all right, the Monaco one being at Villa Park, but I don't want to be playing Juventus at Juventus.
No, and trying to win.
Having to win now. So hopefully I can do it early doors.
Let's see what happens in season number 3. I've got a slight advantage. See what Dad can do. And Wolves have finished in 5th place, and Dad
3 points.
Down in 8th there.
Dear.
Oh, they even qualified for the Champions League, finishing in 5th because of obviously the new qualification purposes. That might have just gifted you the Europa League qualification there. Although West Ham looks like they've won something because they have a Europa Conference League qualification. 66 points in total. You're only 3 points behind, Dad. We even had the champions Manchester United down in 6th, which is quite funny. Tottenham managed to finish in the top 4 by 4 points ahead of me there. Profile of the league, 19 goals from Ivan Gasson.
Pleased with that.
That's come out of nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
He even had second highest average rating. Oh, we didn't check to see whether each other beat each other. So I had 10 losses this season. One was against you, which obviously we
already knew about,
But the other one was a draw.
That's right.
3-3 draw. Look at those draws. Every single one of them, other than the Brighton one, was like a 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Unbelievable. All right, so I didn't gain any points there. So that's 1.1 for being higher, 1.1 for you for beating me, but not anything else because of the draw. But let's have a look. We're on Wolves right now. Did I manage to win any competitions? Get in! Europa League! I don't want to face Juve. They might be really hard. Let's go! 3-1 after extra time.
Well done.
Lovely win.
Yeah.
You did knock me out of the Carabao Cup, though.
Yes, get in.
That is annoying. You have knocked me out of the Carabao Cup.
Ooh, I get a couple of points for that, don't I?
You do. You get 2 points for knocking me out. Yeah, it was 4th round, so it was only a one-legged round, that one. So you get 2 points for that. But let's have a look. I already got 5 points still for winning Europa League. So that's a huge bounce in that. Dad, your Aston Villa team, did you win any competitions? No. Oh! Semi-final. Yes. So that is 2 points to me. You actually get a point because you beat me 2-0 as well, though. So you salvaged a point somewhat, but I knocked you out of the competition. Oh, I finished top.
Oh, well done.
Wow, 1 draw. Well done for finishing in 7th.
Yeah, I'll take
Because your games were a lot harder than mine.
Yeah.
You only lost to Sociedad. You drew the Pilsen at Bilbao.
Look where Juventus finished. 19th.
Yeah. You beat them 3-2.
Yeah.
5-4 against Monaco. 3-2 against Lens.
Last 2 games
Big
I
wins
won.
there. Yeah. That was good. Into the round of 16, we both went into Lens and Bilbao. Again, we knocked them both out. Quarter-final, Club Brugge you knocked out. I knocked out Wolfsburg. And then into the semi. Yeah. Well, Juventus are playing against Celtic. It's a shame that we weren't in the opposite side of the draw, because it would have been hilarious to have beaten you in the final. But there we go. You can be just assuming I would have won in the final. Okay, we're on Villa. Let's have a look at your transfer budget next season. You got £60 million, which probably means I've also got £60 million.
Should be.
Your loan to West Ham for Leon Bailey has gone through as a full transfer. But I have a question for everybody who's watching who might know. Now, when we have been doing this, we don't know whether the money ever goes in your transfer budget, do we?
No, we don't.
There's no way that I can tell that it happens. So have you guys know whether if you loan a player for a mandatory future fee or an optional future fee, whether you get that money in your transfer budget? Because everything that we can see, it doesn't.
I'm looking at it now, and I don't know because it's the first time I've seen it really. Underneath my budget, it says next season's 29 million.
Yeah.
So I wonder if last season it had
I don't know.
38 million, and I've just got 21 million to make it 59 million.
I don't know.
But we honestly didn't know, did we?
No.
Because that was one of the questions. As soon as that came up, that come through, I did say to you tonight, but do I get that 21 million then?
Yeah.
So we don't know.
It's the same with installments. We know when you're paying installments, it comes out of like the next season transfer budget, the season after that's transfer budget. But when somebody else pays for your players in installments, it never comes up and said, oh, you get an extra 10 million this year for the player that you sold last season. So we're unsure. If you guys know if there's proof in the pudding that it actually does go in your transfer budget or it doesn't, then by all means, please let us know down in the comments, because every day is a learning day, even for me who's been playing this game since 1998.
Yeah.
So, Dad, let's have a look at your goals tally. Even Gasson had the most goals there with 26. Strand Larson had 25 as well as Ollie Watkins with 25. So they had some great seasons there.
Yeah.
My transfer budget, you had 60, was it?
59, yeah.
59? 52 for me. Not as much. Similar, but a little bit further off. Vitor Roque with 27 goals and 13 assists. He is looking good already. Woo! That was a good signing, that. Terra Moffi for 24. We got 14 from Salvatore Esposito and even 12 for Krupi, who only played 21 starts, 25 off the bench. The 19-year-old. Oh! The development after a season there. That is looking lush.
Yeah.
Very pleased with that. So far, I'm in the driving seat by the looks of it. Let's have a look at the points tally. Season points for season number 3 is Omega Luke with 8. Omega Dad with 4, which means the total points, Omega Luke shoots up to 15, and Omega Dad is on 6. Another very busy window for both of us. We've got Højbjerg going out for £18 million, which created a little bit more cash for you, but there's way more to come, believe me. Eze did join you in January, by the way, for anybody who was wondering.
Yeah, I was pleased with that.
Capaldo for £600, which is the end of contract by the looks of it. So
I was pleased to get him in as well. Just strengthening my midfield up as well.
He's cracking. Very good signing from Salzburg. Adrian Traffert, £51 million from Rennes. The left back.
I'm really going to start tightening my defence and my midfield up now, so that was why I was going for this. I feel that I got a really good strike force, so strengthen everything else up.
Okay. Then we've got another £156 million on the outs, including 41 for Leon Bailey.
Yeah.
When they put it there, I'm like, oh, that must have gone in your budget. But again, it didn't look like it ever went up, did it?
No.
When it happened. Bissek went for £45 million to Al Nassr. Then we've got Alex Moreno, so the left back's gone now to damage, 4.5. Enrique Araujo went for 1.8. Yuri Tillemans to £32 million. He wasn't really getting a lot of game time.
No.
He played 36 actually. He actually started loads of game time.
He didn't really want to go neither, did he? But he just didn't.
He was forced out the door. He's 29.
I had to keep pushing him out.
Dad don't want to pay for 30th birthdays. I think that's what it is.
Well,
Van der Brempt went out for the right back to Bayern Munich.
The problem I had really, wasn't it, is it's the 4th season, and we know what happens in the 4th season. The players from Saudi come available, don't they? And you guys are going to be asking, what about Frank Kessie? And I did go for him, and I did get accepted on the bid that I had for him, and I offered him the biggest wages that he could get off anybody else, and he didn't come.
No.
Where did he go? He went to PSG, didn't he?
Yeah.
He chose PSG rather than me. So, Frank, if you're listening, mate, we're done.
There he is. Dead to Dad now.
Yeah. I could have put another winner's medal in your cabinet, but you didn't want to. You wanted to go to PSG.
He'll be back. No doubt about it. Todibo, £47 million. That's a cracking signing.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that one as well.
Really like that one. Baselli, who you picked up from Real Madrid. Obviously, you don't start there. You went to River Plate, but last season, £10.75 million. Never played a game, and then they tripled the money.
Still a good signing for me, though.
Yeah. And then this one's a big one. El Yawahi, £78 million from Lens.
I strengthened my defence up, so now I've just thought, right, let's get another striker in. I know you might laugh at me, but he's a good striker as well, though.
I wasn't laughing, but still. Hasn't got any goals for you yet.
I've only played one game.
Let's have a look at the tactic. It's bound to have changed, isn't it? Of course it has. It's changed again. It's a 4-2-2. with one player slightly deeper than the rest.
Yeah.
You got it looks like it's like lopsided. It's like melted on one side.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's what it looks like. Let's have a look at what I've done in the transfer window. Another £167 million there, £78 million there, including Terra Moffi. We've got Marmol, who left as well. So 2 players who have just come in have already left. Kalatic has gone as well for £15 million as well. The signings that I made, though, Andre Sheldrup for £35 million. This was a good one. Look at that one. He's absolutely fantastic. For 22 years of age, 31. I'm really happy with that. He hasn't really played much for Benfica, which did surprise me on how much he developed, considering that. But he should have been given the game time, because 2 goals in 4 appearances is amazing. 5 goals in 7, and they're still not playing him.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's mental, especially because only 2 of them were starts. So it's like, what were you doing there? Renan from Shabab Al Ali. Obviously, I sold Marmol, who was a left-footed centre-back, and I brought one in for a lot cheaper than what I sold that one for. £9.5 million. That's a good signing in my books. Tom Kraus, £28 million from Mainz. Again, is a ball winner, so really good mental attributes, fantastic physical attributes. Gets ball whenever possible, dives into tackle, so expect to see Tom there at the top of the yellow cards by the end of the season. Probably got the most reds as well. Noah Okafor, which is a really cheap deal for £11 million for
it's good.
A quality player, yeah. Actually developed quite nicely, because sometimes he just doesn't do anything, and it's like, oh, that's a shame, because he's got all the potential in the world. Danny Motta, 3 seasons in a row he was in my shortlist to pick him up, because I almost went from every single time, but eventually I pulled the trigger and got him in this 4th season. Really good finishing ability, fantastic physicals, anticipations up there, so was off the ball, but everywhere else is like 13s and 14s.
Yeah, he's good all-rounder.
Yeah, from Luxembourg as well. Yeah, how many Luxembourg players have we signed? Probably none. Last season he did play quite a lot. 37, he scored 11. It's actually his best season. So there we go. £35 million. Well spent. My tactic, I have changed the roles, but not the actual positions again. So got 2 advanced forwards this time round. So Krupi and Vitor Roque up front. So I'm giving Krupi the license to play up front instead of being that bench type of player, because 29 games last season was great, and he scored enough goals for me to go, all right, I can give him some actual game time. He's got 2 in 4 for me already with an assist and a player of the match. It's working out.
Yep.
He's doing well. Esposito, Nuama, Sheldrup, we're looking good. How are we feeling good? It's okay. Premier League, 2-2 draw against Leeds. Unfortunately, I come up against Real Madrid after winning the Europa League, and they beat me 3-1. Never mind. But I did beat Tottenham 3-1. I beat Norwich 4-1. I lost to Arsenal, and I'm already out of the Carabao Cup to Burnley. Champions League, there's some recognisable faces in the Champions League fixtures that I've got, because there's Eintracht Frankfurt. I've also got both clubs from the El Clasico. I've got an Ajax in there, Juve. I've got former European champion Bodo Glimt.
Yeah.
All of these huge clubs that are in there.
So what chance have you got?
Well, zilch, probably. Aston Villa then. How are you getting on, Dad? Well, you only conceded 1 goal. Which was against Manchester United. You beat Fulham 3-0. Strand Larsen's getting some goals here as well. Leicester 3-0. Crystal Palace 3-0. It's been a great start for you. The Europa League, let's have a look. You've got Sheriff, Sporting, Sevilla, FCSB Ghent, Feyenoord, Lens, and Levski Sofia.
I'll be disappointed if I don't go for it.
I think you should top the group.
I should be, yeah, definitely.
Should be top of the group after how well you started. You got a bit to chase me as well, because currently it is 15-6. Let's see if you can catch up in season number 4. Season number 4. I'm in 14th. Dad's won the league.
By a mile.
How have you done that?
What do you mean, how have I done that?
Actually, do you watch more of a miracle?
Like I said to you guys, you Villa fans, I had your back. 4th season, bang, I'm in.
I might have signed loads of absolutely terrible strikers.
Frank Kessie, you missed out on a winner's medal again.
He did, yeah. Is he Harry Kaned it and lost the league? I mean, I think what's more of a miracle is how I've kept my job.
Yeah.
Man United said they won the league 2 seasons ago.
There you go, mate. See?
Wow. 14th position with 49 points. You were up there with 89. 40 more points than me. Absolutely trounced me. That's an extra 4 points in total straight away. You lost 5 games. Didn't lose any to me. Or drew any, which means you get an extra 2 points. for that as well. That's lovely. So that's 6 points straight away, straight off the bat. And I don't think I've won anything because there's nothing next to my name. So let's spoiler alert that. Round of 16 by Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, not Tottenham. I was praying for that one to come in. Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
Oh, way too cocky too soon, didn't I? Quarter-final by Norwich. Third round, of course, we already knew, by Burnley. Dad, you won the league. Congratulations. Did you top it off? Oh, get out. Beating Arsenal in the final.
Even better, eh?
That is funny. 105th plus 1 minute in the Europa League final, played in Brussels. Wow, so we've won back-to-back Europa Leagues, which is quite impressive. I'd probably say that you've done a little bit of a better job since then. But there we go. Back-to-back Europa Leagues won by this rivalry that we've got going on. Right. Third round by Charlton. That's hilarious, though, isn't it?
Disappointed with those two cups, I must admit, yeah.
And Birmingham, the other one.
How the hell can I lose against those two teams?
That's not nice as well,
No,
is
not
it?
Birmingham.
No. So, you won the league, though. Fair play to you. Let's have a look at the goals. Vitor... I was expecting to see your players. No, it was mine. Vitor Roque's there. Josh Deutsch. Tom Krause. I mentioned how he gets some yellow cards. There he is. Buendia with 11 assists. Martinez had the same amount of clean sheets as Vicario, and Wahi had the second highest amount of man of the matches. I genuinely don't know why they're keeping me, why I haven't been sacked, but there we go. £58 million, Dad, you've got to spend. I thought it'd be a little bit more than that. I'm really shocked with how little goals it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it was your defence. Must be your defence. Let's have a look. I mean, I thought you would score way more than that. Only conceded 31, which was the least by about 8.
Yeah,
so
that's what strengthen that defence.
Solid defence, yeah. 53 for the goal difference. That's very impressive.
Who did I beat in the Europa League going through the rounds then?
Oh, yeah, let's have a look. The league phase, you finished in first place. Didn't lose a single game in the...
I deserved to win it then, really, don't I?
Yeah. So you went through to the round of 16. Knocked out Rapid VN in the round of 16. The quarter-final, you knocked out AC Milan.
That's a good result.
Wow, yeah. The semi-final, Bilbao on penalties as well.
Straight through then.
Yeah, to face Arsenal in the final. So 28 goals was the highest for El Yawahi. You got £58 million next season. We didn't have a look at my Champions League, so let's have a look. PSG. What was that, Frank? What were you shouting? Sorry, I didn't.
Well done, Frank. Well done, mate. Winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
Made the right decision, my friend.
Knew you could do it.
I mean, you had a league winners medal and a Europa League winners medals, but did you win your own league, Frank?
What would you prefer, eh? Europa League or that Mickey Mouse trophy? That's hilarious. They've actually won it 3 out of the last 4. The league phase. Oh, I actually did all right. I thought I'd get absolutely bonked in there. 3 losses, Real Madrid. Only a 3-2 at the Bernabeu. Not bad at all.
No.
Only 1-0 against Juventus away. And a 4-2 loss to Barcelona at home. I did myself justice there. Me and Eintracht Frankfurt had a gentleman's handshake there because we both finished in 13th and 14th as well. And then a 1-4. Absolutely stuffed the crap out of that former European champion Bodo Glimt. Same as Ajax, 5-2. 3-0 against Dinamo Zagreb and 2-0 at Fenerbahce, which I meant into that. Knocked out Salzburg, 9-3. And you think, oh, the momentum is with you, Luke. Sure, you can go all the way. And then, no. You get eliminated 6-4 by Tottenham Hotspur. Never mind. I got 63 minutes. I got more in the bank than you, haven't I?
Yeah.
They're giving me more transfer, and I finished in 14th. And I scored more goals. Junior Krupi with 28 winless games. Look at that. How am I finishing so low with these 2 players? I'm going to struggle to keep them, I think. Not bad at all. What is bad, though, is my points tally for this season. Because I think it's at 0. But let's have a look. Correct. Omega Luke has 0 points this season. And Omega Dad has 11. Meaning the total points has completely swung to Omega Luke with 15. And Omega Dad with 17. Right, just like that, Dad, you've... turned the points tally around quite quickly. I thought I had a nice little lead going into
I was getting worried. I must admit, one big season's done me, so I'm right in there again now.
Yeah, that's really annoying on my regard, but there we go. So you got £156 million out there, but I think a lot of it was done the season before. So you did bring in somebody straight away. That was Evan Ferguson.
We were surprised to see him at this price. We jumped. I mean, I jumped at it, and then you worked out why. I mean, because like you always do, you keeps an eye on the players, the teams that get relegated, and I don't. I miss it, and this is why he come available at that price.
Yeah, Brighton got relegated last season.
Yeah.
And he is absolutely incredible at 22 years of age, homegrown as well.
Yeah.
So he fits that quota too. But you also sold £82 million worth. Even Gasson can now leave because you brought in Ferguson for £35 million. Buendia left for 15, not bad considering he's 32 now, 30. And Sacha Boey, backup right back for £31 million.
Right back.
So you went for a PSG midfielder. I know what you're thinking. Must be Frank Kessie. No, you went for Milinkovic-Savic.
I'm pleased with this player.
I should have redone that again, really. I should have done. So you went for a PSG midfielder who they got on a free transfer from Saudi Arabia. And I know what you're thinking. It must be Frank Kessie. No, it's Milinkovic-Savic.
I'm pleased with this one, I'll tell you what. It's just strengthens my midfield right up now.
He's very good.
Oh, he's good.
He is very good, despite being 32. I mean, you paid 27 million when you could have got him for free last year.
Yeah.
And he only played 9 games.
Yeah.
You're not even paying him that much money.
That's 2 world-class players I've just bought in.
Yeah. 185 grand a week is not too bad. Of course, you are the league champions, though. Yeah. So you're going to attract better and bigger players. And Lazar Samardzic is another one. From Udinese, £58 million. He's a cracking attacking midfielder.
Another big midfielder I just bought in. So 3 world-class signings I've just made, I think.
Yeah. And of course, he just won the league, as I mentioned, and Europa League. So the last thing you'd expect Dad to do is change his tactic. That's not what you played last season, was it?
No, it wasn't. The way I looked at this, I thought, right, I'm going to bring in 3 world-class players, and I have done. I've just made my midfield now really, really solid. I'm going to make it really hard to beat me, but with the strike force that I've got, when I do go at you, I'm going to be going at you full guns. So I got 2 on attack in there, and all my top 3 are all attacking you as well. So my midfield are just bombing forward, and I've got a really good defence. So that was the reason why I've got. I mean, you look at that midfield. That is a world-class midfield. Yeah, but I know exactly what you've done again. You've just gone, what's his best role? Put him in there. What's his best role? If you remember rightly, when I was trying to buy that player, though, I wanted to fill that space. Because the player I had in there wasn't filling that space, was he? Yeah, but what I would argue, what you haven't considered, is on this side, you have somebody who is going to fill that place, yeah? That's why I played him on attacking, and that one I haven't. But on this one, he's done inverted, so he does this. Yeah. So surely having the Mazzala on that side, where the guy would occupy there, for that guy to go in the middle there, would be a better option. All right. I'm happy with that. I think that is, should I dare say it, title winning side? You just won the title. Well, I've just bettered it. Yeah, but the tactic is a bit off. I mean, you haven't even got a striker who's going to break the line of defence. You've got a complete forward whose job is to hold up the ball despite being on attack. And then you've got a deep line forward, again, who drops deep into space and holds up the ball before supplying linking passes. So you've got 2 linking strikers instead of an advanced forward or a poacher or a presser who's going to try and break the line of defence. I don't like being predictable, mate. You know what I'm like. I baffles you every week. I know. I don't understand it, ever. All right, let's see what I've done then. It's not as weird as that. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. I brought in £69 million worth of players, and that is a naughty number. Didn't mean that, by the way. The last player, I was like, oh, that would take me up to 68. Give him an extra million. Yeah. £39 million on the outs, $10 million for Bellegarde Nuama for 28. Actually, I brought in another player just before that. Gustav Isaacson for £48 million was the first signing I made right at the start of the transfer window for improving that right-hand side. And I only reminded myself of that once I'd sold Nuama. I also sold Pedro Neto too for £33 million to the relegated Brighton team. I don't know why they're spending £33 million going down into the Championship, but they are, and good luck to them, I guess. Well, they had the money off me, didn't they? Yeah. 2 free transfers. Emiliano Martinez, not your goalkeeper. No. That's a different one. It is a midfielder, Uruguayan. He's a good midfielder too. Cracking technicals and mentals, and not bad physicals either, for a free transfer from Midtjylland. Not bad. Alban Lafont, I like to think he's a better goalkeeper than Jose Sa, but for some reason, my assistant manager likes to play Jose Sa. I'm just going to let him crack on with it. Then I signed 2 players from Manchester City. First being Callum Doyle. I was running out of homegrown talents, so I needed to sign homegrown players to be able to register anybody else. Hence the next 2 signings in Callum Doyle and Calvin Phillips. 2 good signings though, I think. Calvin Phillips probably hasn't played football since 2021. No, he actually has been playing some games. I was trying to take the mick out of him there, but he genuinely has been playing some games. And then Simon Wald, who's a player I've never signed before in my life, from Gladbach, £16 million. Looks like a decent right back, because Nelson Semedo, as we knew, was getting a little bit old now, so he comes in, the 22-year-old German.
right back. I have changed my tactic because I needed to. I finished in 14th place, so I've gone for this. It's a 4-2-3-1, quite standard. Got a volante, got a DM, got wing backs and a fullback. Inside forwards, I've tried to go attacking because I wasn't playing that previously. And I've gone for an attacking midfielder because I've got Junior Krupi, who is really good in that role and likes to beat the offside trap. So get him on the ball, cause some trouble with Vitor Roque up front, who again is also fantastic. And let's see if we can cause some trouble and maybe catch up to Dad in the league after he's playing some weird tactics. Schedule. It's not gone great for me, I must admit. I did beat Everton 4-2. Then I come up against two hard teams in Chelsea and Man City. Lost against Man City 2-1, not too bad. Battered by Chelsea 5-1. Uh-oh, no, I beat Exeter City, who are scum, 7-0. Wearing an Argyle shirt as I'm doing it as well. It was worse spitting all over my keyboard. Drew against Tottenham Hotspur 2-2. Then I beat Chelsea on penalties in the EFL third round, whilst playing almost a rotated team after I beat them 5-1
Didn't you?
with my strongest team. So I thought that was quite funny. But it doesn't get any easier for me in September. Liverpool and Man United are up next. And then in October, I start off with Arsenal. And then it's like, where's the bloody break? It's in November once you've already been sacked. I hope that's not the case. Aston Villa, how have you been getting on, Dad? Well, it's been a lot better for you. You've only had the Super Cup, which was a bad loss for you, 2-1 against PSG. The rest of the games, you beat Southampton on penalties only, who are still in the Championship, by the way, and somehow managed to win the FA Cup last year. 2-2 on
Did
penalties.
Frank Cassie play against me in the PSG team?
He probably did. Let's have a look. He was. He was on the bench, and he didn't even come on.
Nah, he's scared to play against me, see?
Yeah, definitely. One for the fact that they've got Nico and Naipan and Zaire Emery and Frank Kessie all on the bench. And Hakan Çalhanoğlu. 5 centre midfielders on the bench. This is basically Dad.
You can see why he wanted to go there, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It was either that or go to you, where you had 5 centre midfielders in one transfer window. 5-1 against Norwich, 4-1 against Bournemouth, 5-2 against Sheffield United, and a 1-0 win against Middlesbrough in the Cup.
Good start for me then.
Yeah, you've got European football, Dad. I haven't. You're in the Champions League. Sporting, Villarreal, Roma, Napoli, Leverkusen, Ludogorets, Porto, and Milan. I can't believe you're playing Europa League fixtures in the Champions League. What's going on with that?
I'll be disappointed if I don't go for it.
Oh, yeah, so would I.
Stage. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Bloody hell. So, final season. 2 points are between us, but I've got a bit of a bigger job on my hands than what I anticipated after just one season ago. Let's see what happens in this 5th and final season. Ah, 5th season, that's awkward, isn't it? It's that 2 versus rebuilds in a row. I've been sacked. I'm not having a good time at the minute. That's minus 10 points. As we established on a previous versus rebuild, getting sacked is minus 10 points. I was already losing by 2. I think we know where this is going.
You lost.
Well, I lost.
Never mind. I've been well, no, even if I get sacked, I'll still win.
Even if you got... The only way I would not have been sacked is if I beat you in the league games before we were both sacked.
Yeah.
Or I won the Carabao Cup. Then I very much doubt they would have sacked me unless I was in the relegation zone.
Because you would have got
the
to February
Cup.
then and winning the Cup. Can't see they would sack you.
No.
Get to February and winning the Cup, is it?
Also, that would be hilarious, though.
Oh.
That would be like the ultimate spin. People would go, oh, I'm gutted Luke lost. I'm going to have to turn it off now. And then they would have missed it. Because obviously, I all know you're all rooting for me. And you're really annoyed when Dad wins. You won the league again. On the same points as with that tactic. I mean, they basically gave it to you. Second place only got 73 points. I got more than that in the relegation zone once. I'm only in that. I did better than I did last season.
What I will tell you, and you'll learn from this, every day's a school day. The league table never lies.
You lost 11 games as well. You even lost to Wolves. I don't know whether I was in charge at the time, but that's the point. You almost threw it away at the end there. 44 goal difference, though. What was your point tally last year? 89, or even second place then was nowhere near. 73.
There you go then. So I'd have won the league 2 years in a row then.
Yeah.
Well, I have won the league 2 years in a row.
Well, you did, yeah. Evan Ferguson was the top scorer. He also had the highest average rating across the season.
That actually, top scorer only 20.
Yeah, really disappointing season. What a letdown that is. Do you top it off with another trophy? Oh, God. FA Cup winners against Chelsea again in extra time. They must hate you right now. That's 2 trophies you beat them to right at the end there. Runners up,
treble.
Arsenal.
Oh no.
Oh, shame. And Tottenham in the Champions League.
I could take that.
So you qualified for the Champions League. Where to? In 12th place.
So that wasn't really a bad tactic, really. It nearly won with the treble.
Everybody's going to look at that and go, how the hell did that tactic win? Because look at this again. No breaking the line of defence strikers. You've got Mazzala with a wing back. You've got an advanced playmaker with an inverted wing back. I don't understand Football Manager anymore, it seems. I keep getting sacked. I don't know what's going on. Weird tactics keep beating me. I don't know. Maybe I need to find a new game. Save game file if you want to have that for whatever reason. You can take over Dad's Aston Villa side. £70 million. You're losing Dia, but you've got £70 million to replace him and bring in some new talents. 29 goals from Evan Ferguson. El Yawahi got 19 as well, and he looks fantastic. You've got a great strike force up there, great midfield, and also a decent defence. You've got a championship winning team from the last 2 seasons, and a very weird tactic that somehow works. I don't know either, but there we go. Let's find out when I was sacked. So Niko Kovac is in, which means I probably got sacked earlier. November. I was sacked a long time ago. So if we look at that, 20th of the 11th. Now, if we look at past positions, Wolves, 20th of the 11th is around about here, I would say. There's 6th of the 12th, 30th of the 11th, 27th of the 11th, so that one. That game there. A loss to Norwich, where I was in 15th place. Is the catalyst of me losing.
So that was the lowest at Norwich, Wolves were.
Yeah, it was these 2 games here was where I was. You can see why I was sacked. I mean, I did mention that I was already being sacked by there, to be fair. So the fact I made it to the start of November is pretty good. But I got 2 nice little wins against Man United and Fulham before a terrible month in October. Happy days. Let's have a look at the points tally before we wrap up this versus episode. So the season points are Omega Luke with -10 and Omega Dad with +7, meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 5 and Omega Dad with 24. Well, it was a bit of a bigger gap than what I thought it would, considering at one point I was 9 points ahead.
Yeah,
really well and truly threw that away, didn't I?
I mean, you know me like a book, and you know I build for the 4th and 5th season. I just bring a few players in and trying to get better, but that 4th and 5th season, I know I do build for that 2 seasons tonight.
How has it just been like 3 months and now you're better at this than I am? It's so annoying.
I wouldn't say that. I'm still learning. I get away with doing silly things now and again.
Yeah, you can say that again. Let us know all your thoughts. What do you think about Dad's tactics? What do you think about all the installments going into the game? Was your predictions correct? Everything down in the comments section. And remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, please remember to do so we can keep the ball rolling forward with the subscribers. And of course, NordVPN if you want protection online, or you want to watch some cheeky stuff on Netflix, or maybe even some 3 o'clock kickoffs, then you know what to do. NordVPN.com/Omega Luke. The link is at the top of the description. Thank you very much to all the Patreon members. Patreon.com/Omega Luke Gaming, or you can join the channel members here on YouTube. It's the same price. You get a little bit extra because sometimes I'll chuck up a video an hour or 2 earlier on the channel members, but Patreon is exactly the same. It all supports Dad being here for extra days so that we can record stuff like this, and of course the Versus series. Glory Hunter is well underway, and we're closing towards those final years. If you haven't checked it out yet, here is episode 1. Go watch it right now.